So today I have the pleasure of talking to Melanie. Please introduce yourself and your business to the community.
Hello, I'm the co-owner and manager of Wootton Park Glamping and Wellness. We are nestled in the heart of Warwickshire, just a few miles from Stratford-upon-Avon actually, but being a farm location and half-a-mile drive, people get here and say, well, I didn't know this existed, you know, you're so close to the motorway and the main road, and well, I've never been up here before. And so we do have location, I must say.
Amazing, Melanie. It sounds really idyllic, and the Warwickshire countryside is beautiful as well. How long have you been functioning there at Wootton Park?
Okay, well, because it's a family-run business and it's my husband's farm, I've been here quite a long time. We used to milk cow. It was a working farm, dairy and arable. And then some years ago, we started, well, gradually developed into a multifunctional hospitality business, really, starting with weddings, a wedding venue, and 8 gorgeous, if I might say so myself, ensuite bedrooms between the Tudor farmhouse and the adjoining bakehouse. So we started with weddings, and then we soon realized that actually there weren't really enough rooms. 8 rooms isn't quite enough for the wedding party, all their guests and brothers and sisters and bridesmaids and best men, etc. So we started with the glamping pods, and that's really helpful. So either for wedding guests or obviously for other people to come and enjoy and have a bit of peace and quiet in nature, away from the hubbub of general life and city life maybe. Also up here on site we have then another family member. A son runs Spot On Wake, which quite a few people have started to hear about. That's wakeboarding, paddleboarding, lakes he's dug himself, and they're beautifully sort of landscapes and everything. And an aqua jungle, think Go Ape, but over water. And yes, you are going to fall in, that is the idea. And then I sort of had the idea a couple of years ago of adding on, a passion of mine really is wellness, and adding on somehow doing wellness retreats here, because there's a lot to offer. We have a lot to offer, and I wanted to share it with people. That's the thing. So that's what we're doing now. My main focus is developing Wootton Park Wellness. We officially opened our beautiful wellness years, surrounded by nature and trees and woods and all sorts of animals. Of course, we've got alpacas and horses and whatnot, just over a year ago, really. And so far, delighted with how it's all being received.
It sounds amazing, and it sounds like you can either go for an adventure or a relaxing week or weekend away as well. What inspired you way back at the beginning? What inspired you to create the retreat for people to come and spend some time with you?
I honestly think it's because it is such a lovely place, and there's just everything here already, and you just think, well, this is going to waste if I can't share it with everybody. So for example, in our own wellness retreats, there's 3 ways we might actually market the years, if you like, where we do our retreats in this big years. And in our own retreats that we offer, there's so many different elements. It's not, we deliberately don't call it a yoga retreat because it's wellness. There's lots of different aspects to it. For example, yes, we do have a Pilates class, and we do have some restorative yoga, but we also have a mindful walk up to the woods. We've got some woods up there, and we do forest bathing. We can offer a dove release from the top of the hill there, and watch the doves swoop back down to their dovecote. Because we've got the doves because we have a wedding venue, so it was just naturally here. Then of course we can feed the animals as well. We can feed the alpacas and the goats and the pygmy goats and all the naughty animals, you know, we can feed them during our program as well, during our day recharge retreat. But it just seemed to be everything here. That's what inspired me, I think, was wanting to share it. I think is probably the best way of putting it.
And what an exciting place to share as well. What would you say, Melanie, has been one of your, I suppose, biggest learnings as you have, I mean, grown significantly to offer a multitude of activities? What would you say one of your biggest learnings has been?
I think it's something as simple as understanding that just have patience and give all your ideas time, because they will come to fruition. If that's what you want and what you're aiming for, then you have the patience. It will all come in its own timing. Everything has its own timing, I believe.
Yes, I like that time, because sometimes we're too quick to kind of change or move things on. Yes, absolutely. Especially now, there's quite a lot of information at our fingertips. So we're so used to that constantly being fed information and stuff. And giving things time. And I like that. One of my biggest phrases is time and consistency. Just let it go, and it will happen when things start moving in the right direction. So I love that. Thank you. What would you say has been perhaps one of the biggest challenges over the time that you've faced?
Oh, good question. Gosh, I'm kind of, there have been challenges all the way along, make no mistake. Possibly in a way, now it's not meant to sound detrimental, but because it is a family business, and 4 or 5 members are developing their own businesses on site. Obviously, we all need to get on and compromise sometimes and share bits and pieces, and so I think it's perhaps communication is key in my book. You just have to make sure you're having enough chats with other members of a different sort of business up here, if you like, be it the lakes or the weddings, and that no big challenges really. Everything's here, very lucky again, everything's here for the asking and for the developing, if you like.
Yeah, I like what you said there, though, the communication and the art of it, and making sure that all of the, I suppose, different business elements can cohabit, can co-run, and when you've got weddings, does this work over here, and so on and so forth. So communication, I think, it sounds like it's vital where you are, that you're all communicating well. So what about success? What would you say one of your biggest successes has been over the time?
So I suppose we started developing or diversifying about 12, 13 years ago. And I would say, gosh, I'm sorry, what did you ask? Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, so well.
That's okay. We'll just go again. So I just count to 3. That's okay, it's no problem. I will just count to 3 and I'll ask you again. So Melanie, what about success? What would you say one of the biggest successes has been in the time?
I think possibly the thing I've enjoyed the most has actually been developing all the 3 businesses, i.e. weddings, glamping pods and wellness, with my husband, because being a farmer, he is just so hands-on, he's so capable, and I've only got to say, oh, what about this? He says, no, you can't do that, we won't be able to get a bathroom in there, or or a yurt at the bottom of the garden, and I'll say, oh, I'm sure you'll find a way, and blow me down, he goes away, and he just does. So I think the best part has been actually being able to develop the whole thing with him on his farm. Yeah, that's the best thing.
Absolutely love that. And lastly, what advice would you give somebody starting out in their own business?
Any business, or a business related to
No, any business. If somebody came to you today and say, hey, Melanie, I'm looking to start my own business. Do you have any advice for me? What might that be?
Okay, good question. Possibly it goes back to not panicking, giving things time and having patience and not expecting instant results, and find yourself a great marketing person. That's what happened to me. That's what I've got.
Absolutely. I love that, Melanie. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us today, and good luck to your future success.
Thank you.